All right, one of the topics that was provided that I think people really struggle with, especially women, is the guilt. The mom guilt is what we call it. Unable to be present at work, because at work you feel guilty that you're not at home with your kids. And then when you're at home with your kids, you're thinking about work, or you're picking up your cell phone, or you just can't be present because you're running and doing everything while you're with your kids. And then you feel guilty. So you feel guilty all the time. So you feel like a bad mom and then a bad worker and a bad business person. So this is one of the topics I think that is very hot topic. And I noticed came up many times in the Facebook group when I asked the question. And the Facebook group I'm referencing, if you're a woman and you're in real estate, I highly recommend you join this Facebook group called It's WIRE, and it stands for Women in Real Estate. And it's amazing. Debbie Holloway started it through the Tom Ferry organization, but now she just runs it, and they actually have a retreat. I'm unable to go, but this question was posed because my past coach reminded me that I really struggled with this, and then many other people chimed in and said, me too, me too, me too. Many single moms, many people that are the breadwinners for their family, and they have multiple children with special needs, multiple children, meaning not just one child, but even if one child, like it's just constant when you have children. If someone's sick, you're bringing your kids with you to work, and then you feel weird about it. There's a lot of judgment we face as women in the working space against our fellow counterpart men that are working and are from a more of a traditional background. I have a very strong husband in the sense that he's okay with me being a strong woman, and without him, I would not be able to do this business. And everyone knows that knows our family dynamic. And I think there's a level of women like that in our ecosystem, meaning in the Tom Ferry ecosystem and the real estate world, that a lot of times the parents are sharing everything 50-50. Not always, but I want to say that we're seeing it more, which thank God, and props to the men out there. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because the guilt is something that is real. And if you're facing guilt, one of the things I want to challenge you to do is to really be present where your feet are. And this is something my coach, Coach Emily Kittenberg, taught me years ago when I first started working with her. I was a complete hot mess, she'll tell you. Like, I think I cried on like every call for like the first year and a half with her because I just couldn't figure it out. When I started in the business, I literally worked myself to the bone like a true immigrant style. I would come home at 1 a.m. My broker would find me in the office doing work late at night and be like, you need to leave. Like, this is not safe. And I would come home. I wouldn't even take my jacket off. I'd still be on the computer because I was doing all of my own admin work. I was doing mailers. I was doing thank you notes and doing all of the things myself. So I had no support early on. And I literally worked like that. Even having an assistant, then I would take on more stuff instead of giving myself time off. I ended up doubling my business. So I was working even harder, showing properties late at night like a moron. Like, don't do that. Like, why am I showing a property at 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night? And I will say, I showed a property once at midnight, literally at midnight. I won the offer, but still, I don't think that's healthy. Like, in hindsight, I did what I had to do because in my mind, there was no option and I had to make the money. But if I could do it over again, I would have made some different choices for sure. I missed huge chunks of my older two children's life. And so when I got pregnant with my youngest, I vowed that I wasn't going to do that. And I think I've gotten a lot better. And I also battled breast cancer in the business, and that was not fun. That's a whole nother video. But, you know, it really kind of made me wake up and go, what am I doing? Like, what is this all for? Who is this for? Why am I working like this? Is it really worth it to make a couple extra zeros? Is it that much more worth it to not be sleeping, not be taking care of yourself? I think I gained 25 pounds. I wasn't working out. I wasn't taking care of myself. And then I felt guilt. So one of the things, the present where your feet are, is such a mantra. She would tell me, look at where your feet are and be present. So if you're at work, be present. Take care of your clients. You've taken the time to show property. You're taking the time to do your work. Work when it's work time. When it's home time, be at home. And she actually made me text her, like, I'm going home, and I had alarms going off on my phone. Use your alarms on your phone to help you. Not have your phone jail you, but use it to assist you as a tool. Like, you can set alarms to say, go home, you know, play with your kids, check on your kids. Like, you can set little alarms all through the day to set you reminders, because sometimes you just need that reminder. And she got me this incredible book and sent it to me called The Precious Present. It's very little, and it's like a child's book, but it's so beautiful because it really says, like, the precious present has nothing to do with wishing. When you have the precious present, you will be perfectly content to be where you are. The richness of the precious present comes from its own source. The precious present is not something that someone gives to you. It is something you give to yourself. And it's so important to be present where your feet are and be present when you're having conversations with people. Like, I think we all know when there's someone you're talking to is just not there, and you're like, are you there? Are you on your phone? Are you, scrolling? Or we're seeing that more and more in our society today, and knowing that no one's really present. They're like doing 50 things at one time. And it's like the worst form of humanity, I think, just not being present when you're having a conversation with, like, giving someone your full attention. It's almost a mean thing to do. And I think that that is something this generation's going to struggle with. But if you can master that, oh man, I think your life will change forever. And I think that'll help with the guilt. So the precious present where your feet are, look at your feet, is my go-to thing. And I actually say it a lot because she taught me that and it's ingrained in me, and I'm grateful for that. And I think it's a skill that's helped me when I make time blocks in my schedule, that I make enough time to do the things that are important to me. I'm Tom-lacking this video right now. It is in the evening. My little ones are getting ready for bed, but I spent a whole Labor Day weekend with them out of town, and I did a bunch of other things, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be equal every single day. You get to decide what chunks you want to put in your life, what categories you want to feed. And that also helps, like understanding that for yourself, so that when you're in your chunk, when I'm in my chunk to do content, I'm here. When I'm in my chunk to do coaching, I'm there. When I'm in my chunk to work on my business, I'm there. When I'm with my babies, I'm there. And I've learned to like turn my phone over and be present. So I challenge you to do that. If this has been interesting to you and you're wanting more information on how to battle the life of a business owner as a woman, especially, like and subscribe. And I'm planning to put more content out, and I would love to know what you struggle with. Is it mom guilt? Is it guilt in general? Do you feel imposter syndrome? I just did a video on that. What do you struggle with every day that you think is holding you back from going to the next step? Or are you not even out of that corporate job yet that you think you want to do, but you're scared to make that jump? So that's it. Thank you for watching.